why not do it when it's so cold outside?
Right? What else are you
might
gonna
just
do?
be
I'm not
kind
going
of sitting on your computer anyways, you know.
True. That sure looks nice though, doesn't it?
It does. I mean,
Blue
it's a beautiful sight, and you know what? If you have the right gear on and you have, all the ambition in the world to get out there and do some things, maybe some cross-country skiing, whatever it is, you can do it. But it's going to be on the cold side. This is one of our most recent reports from Margaret over in Osceola, where it's still below zero in her location, but she kind of put it perfectly. Lovely sunshine and the cold northwest wind. Can't wait for spring. I think some people are kind of feeling that right now in this cold spurt that we're dealing with, and it was quite cold. In fact, it was dangerously cold late last week and through the weekend. And we made some progress to kind of scour out some of that cold Arctic air, but there's still some lingering around the area, and we're going to see round after round over the next couple of days, kind of holding us in place. So our highs are only going to stall out in the single digits probably now through probably Friday. 5 for Grand Rapids today, 4 for Hackensack, and over in the Foston area and some of our counties up to the northwest there. Hopeful for temperatures hitting at least 1 to 2, maybe 3 degrees. But even with that on the board, you throw the wind in there, it's running out of the northwest. It is going to be a little bit colder than that, and it's going to be fairly consistent throughout the day today. It's not going to get too calm until later tonight. Gloves, scarf, whatever you can. Stay warm. Really, really helpful on a day like today. 8 for Anoka, 9 for Hastings there, and then those high temperatures today down south from Wabasha all the way to Marshall, anywhere from about 8 to 12 degrees. So this is a good idea of our general pattern that we're in right now. We have low pressure up to the northeast, kind of hovering around the Hudson Bay, and this northwest flow that we're tapping into, and a ridge out west where it's going to take that pattern all the way up north, and then it's going to kind of stream it back down around to where we live here in the upper Midwest. And until we can clear this, nothing's really going to change, and that isn't going to move for multiple days. In fact, probably 3 to 4 days. You'll see this area right here kind of hovering around. It does start to move slowly down to the south here on Thursday into Friday, and that's going to do just enough to allow the jet to kind of buckle a little bit, giving us a ridge to help us warm up for the weekend. And then that continues to shift off towards the east there, that low. And we have an even stronger ridge develop out west. So we're not going to see some significant changes just yet. I'm a little skeptical on what's going to actually arrive once we break into February. But I can say this, I believe there's at least going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 days where our temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. And the Climate Prediction Center thinks that as well for early February, where we'll kind of tap into some of that warm air, and that colder air will stay down to the south and southeast. So what does that look like on the 7-day? Well, today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday are all basically the same. A lot of sunshine, it's cold outside, and if there's a breeze, it's going to make it feel sub-zero out there. Saturday, we start feeling some of that change where that warmer air starts to creep on in, and even our overnight temperatures will warm up a little bit as well. So that's a win for us. Here's the deal. There's kind of a trade-off. Once we start warming up a little bit, it's also going to increase our chances for some snow. We've been pretty dry recently in this cold air. Well, I think we could maybe get some snow on Sunday. It's not a lot, but it's there, with temperatures, though, at least back into the 20s.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Joseph.
So here's something investors would like to know. What will the 2026 stock market hold?
Our money expert, Dustin Smith from Wealth Enhancement Group, is looking into the crystal ball.
Yes, I've read the tea leaves.
Okay, fine. You can't, no one knows, right?
Yes.
We know this. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but you can tell us something.
Yeah. So I always think it's good to kind of talk about what happened last year, give you kind of a preface of that. So, 2025 was a real interesting year to say the least. I mean, remember back in April, everything really kind of cratered, right? We had that moment.
With the tariffs after that.
When the tariffs were announced. But by the end of the year, the U.S. stock market was up double digits for the third year in a row. Right? Really surprising a lot of folks. Not only that, but one of the most interesting things that I saw happen last year was how well international stocks did. They were actually your best performer, most likely, in your portfolio last year. So a lot of things happened that I think surprised folks. And it ended the year pretty positively.
Okay, so what are we keeping an eye on for 2026? What can we?
So this year we're watching a handful of things. First of all, we're watching labor markets, right? Because I think a lot of folks are saying, hey, well, hiring still stay elevated? How will people find work and so on and so forth? Will AI affect them?
Right.
Thus far, labor markets have seen pretty resilient. We're also likely going to see a potential couple other cuts in interest rates. That sometimes can spur on more investment, which can lead to more hiring, so that might be a positive thing. A big question for a lot of us, though, is who's going to be leading the Federal Reserve?
Right.
We don't know yet, and that might be announced here very shortly.
Let's go back to the AI stuff, because not just affecting the labor markets, but the AI stocks have been really the ones sort of driving the market over the past year. I mean, we're going to see if this is the real deal or not over the next year.
So we say, is it hype, right? Or is it productivity? Because a stock price is not necessarily based upon what's happening right now. It's based upon what the expectation that company is going to do, the revenues and profitability of that company. And so a lot of these stocks have been, bid up quite expensive. And so the real question is, will they have the revenue to back up those prices, or will things correct? We just don't know. But we're starting to see what we call green shoots, right? There are some, some good things coming from this from a profitability standpoint, but we just don't know yet. It's still too early.
What are you telling your clients then for 2026? Because, quite honestly, we don't know what's going to happen in the world. We don't necessarily know what's going to happen with oil markets, with Venezuela, with Ukraine, with really anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of geopolitical tensions happening, just like you said, right? Pick your Ukraine, Venezuela, right, Greenland, whatever it might be. And all those things could affect the markets. And so, like always, we tell folks, right, it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market, and being well diversified. Because, for example, last year, as we said, one of your best performers was international stocks that going into the year, a lot of people might not have predicted. So as always, don't invest money if you're going to need it in the short term, right? So just try to make sure that you do a lot of the, what we say, the basics of having emergency funds, watching what you can control. But ultimately, right, we try to think very long term and not short term.
All right. Well, Dustin, thank you for peering into your
crystal
future.
ball. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
When the temps are frigid and life is busy, there's something incredibly comforting about a meal that's been slowly simmering all day long.
Our Lifestyle contributor Jasmine Stringer here with a few easy, hearty crock-pot recipes. First, I want to thank you for spending your time cooking for us.
Yes, simmering all night long. How about that? Not all day, but all night long.
Hey, that works.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start here, because this was actually my first time making ribs in the crock pot. Now, have you ever had ribs in the crock pot?
So do you get the ribs from the butcher, right?
From the butcher,
and they're not cooked.
They're not cooked.
Okay.
And I cut them so that I could fit them in the crock pot.
Okay.
The really nice thing about this, all of these recipes are Pioneer Women, but from Pioneer Woman, but you simply just stand them up. They give you a little seasoning to put in, and then you take them out, put the barbecue sauce on them, and broil them to get a little of that caramelization on them.
Okay.
So they are basically like a dry rub cooked in the crock pot, and they get super juicy.
So you don't even have to put the barbecue sauce in with it.
No.
It's a dry rub.
It's a dry rub.
Oh, wow.
Paprika.
And that
you
was
can
all
take
night?
A little piece.
Okay.
All night, yeah.
Okay.
Really tender. This is so good. In fact, I actually had some of this for breakfast.
I understand.
Chicken tortilla soup. It smelled so good. It was calling my name.
I know it was.
Again, I substituted chicken thighs for chicken breast in this recipe, because I just like a little chicken thighs.
Yeah.
And I dumped in, because I'd have somebody that loves corn.
Yep.
I added not just black beans, but corn and a little chili. So I say it's got a little southwestern kick, but it is yummy. And then you can add all the accoutrement you want to it. If you want cheese, if you want cilantro,
a little
avocado,
lime squeeze.
a little lime.
Okay.
Perfect.
And don't forget your tortilla chips.
Yes. You need a crunch and some chili.
Now you can't go wrong with a good sloppy Joe.
Agree.
Agree. And instead of just like putting it on sliced bread or a hamburger bun, why not break out the King's Hawaiian, right?
Oh, yeah.
Make it extra decadent. But again, something super easy. And I will tell you, this is only 2.5 hours in the crock pot. So this is something that you could actually do if you're like,
After
what am I
work?
going to have for lunch?
So what sauce did you put in it? Did
you put in ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, barbecue.
So she made her own sandwich.
Yeah. There you go. I always think of soup, in a crock pot, but you can kind of do whatever.
I mean, you can even do desserts in a crock pot.
Oh,
And like I don't know what it is. I mean, like you cook, and sometimes you cook and your house gets a little smoky. A crock pot, that aroma just lingers.
Right. Yes, and it's so
on
easy.
this weather, this is what we want. We want something that's hearty, that's going to stick to our bones, because it is cold out there, my friends.
Yes, it is. All right.
man.
Well, as always, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you. And you can
Jasmine.
always find more of Jasmine's lifestyle tips and her thoughts on seizing the day on her website, Carpe Diem with Jasmine.
If you're looking for some winter fun, the 39th annual Snowball Open is coming up this Saturday at Birches on the Lake in Long Lake.
So Bert Joseph, owner of Birches on the Lake, here with us today. Thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am so glad you were doing it this coming weekend rather than
a little
last
warmer.
Yeah,
weekend.
I think we have a good shot at a better turnout this year.
Yeah, I think so. Tell us what people can expect if they come on out.
Yeah, we open up an hour earlier, 9 a.m.
Okay, so the restaurant opens up.
Restaurant
earlier.
opens up, get people in there. Bloody Mary bar, special cocktails of vodka Red Bull. We brought some of our THCs as well. At 1 to 4, we've got DJ Johnny Whitaker, which is free. So you're paying for the outside for the Snowball Open, which is golf on the ice.
So you're buying tickets for that.
You're buying tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
But if you just want to sit back, if you're like, you know what, I don't want to go outside, I just want to do a little après
You
in
come
the
into the restaurant, you've got music
You got
going
your food.
outside, fire
Okay.
pits, ice bar, a luge for tequila luge. I mean, it'll be
Great.
kind of a fun event.
Okay, let's say you do want to go out, though. Let's say you want to get out there, you want to get your ticket, 18 holes of ice
I
golf.
think it's 18 or 9, but it's like, I think some people only play 3.
Yeah. They'll make it.
Depending on how well they did at the
no
Bloody
idea.
Mary.
And so the holes are like fish holes, and they use anything from a racket to a golf club to a hockey stick to a broom, anything, a foot, a tennis ball, and there's just, it's just kind of one of those fun parties. Again, what else are we going to do here?
Do people come with their own teams? Like, how do they do it?
Yeah, teams, families, if there's need a fourth, you need a third, people
Make
tag
some new
along.
friends.
At some point, it just kind of turns into a little
Mass
different
chaos.
party. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
man.
if you're staying inside, give us some of the things that you brought.
We just brought a couple of our favorites. Just our buckhorn chicken and our Birch's burger, our smash burger, fresh cut fries, coleslaw, and then our short rib tacos. Obviously, these are just a few of the items. All of our breakfast items, all of our Benedicts, walleye Benedict are on the menu. The day, and we've got a DJ Roxy that night from 6 to 9. And again, that's also free. So you get a little break, go home, take a nap.
Yeah, come back out.
Come back
out.
So the tickets, you say $25?
$25.
And then the proceeds go towards what?
Supporting the community.
Great.
Yep.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
I think that's all.
So talk to us about Birches, because if people aren't familiar, where are you, and what? Because Barrett's a big fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so
tell you more about
listen, we got Lake Minnetonka, you got downtown Wayzata.
Yeah.
We're 3 minutes west of Wayzata. There's no lights. It's a straight shot out 394. It was the old Billy's Lighthouse. It was the Hanson House before that. We took it over 10 years. We've been there for 10 years in this location.
Yeah.
It's just a great spot with the best sunset.
Yeah.
And it's pretty special. People find it special for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
And Saturday will be special because you're outside, you get to have a little fun.
Yeah.
It'll
Well,
be
the
warm.
view is just gorgeous. And I mean, you think of a nice summer view when it's warm, but it's just as beautiful in the winter,
It
I
is.
think.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Bert. We appreciate you for coming on in here.